All right. Aloha and welcome to iTeach808, Empowering Hawaii's Teachers and Technology Conference, sponsored by the Augustine Educational Foundation and Sacred Hearts Academy, Honolulu. My name is Dan Renan, and I'll be co-facilitating this session with Derek Lee. We're so honored to have Tami Saito join us today and share her expertise through a 45-minute presentation named EdTech Slam. Please be aware that we'll be recording this session. If you don't like being recorded, you may consider turning off your camera during the session or reviewing the recording afterwards. The recording will be made available on YouTube and shared on iTeach808's website a week after this event. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Tami Saito.
Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. So again, our session for this time is called EdTech Slam. And just a little information about myself. So again, thank you to iTeach808 Ohana and to Laurel Oshiro. So I'm a kindergarten teacher at Wailuku Elementary School on the island of Maui. And I also have the opportunity to be a board member for the HISTE organization. HISTE stands for Hawaii Society for Technology and Education. So today I'm going to go over a few technology tools. Some of you might have heard of them. One of them is called Remove Background, BG. The other one is Animated Bitmoji Banner for your Google Classroom. And then I'm also going to be talking about Jamboard. So the first one I wanted to go over was Remove BG. And before I continue on, I'm going to go ahead in the chat. I will share with you the slides that I'm presenting for you today. And this is the link to the website, Remove BG. Okay. So I don't know if a lot of you heard about the Bernie Sanders memes, but today you'll get a chance to create one of your own. Okay. So I don't know if you know how to remove a background from an image. With Remove BG, I will show you how you can remove a background from pictures in seconds. It's easy and fast to use. What is Remove BG? It's a web-based service to remove the background of any photo. Removing backgrounds from photos used to be a tedious process that only graphic designers could do. But now anyone can do it. Remove BG is 100% free, and it's for low resolutions up to 2.25 megapixels, and it's good for personal use. For those of you that are thinking of using for higher resolutions or up to 25 megapixels or commercial use, there's also a premium plan or image package, and this is the cost for that. Okay, but a lot of the things that you might want to do, the free account is good. Okay, and for the free account, you can have up to 50 free previews. The pros and cons of using Remove BG. So the pros is easy to use. There's no sign up, no email, accurate results, free to use, and works at fast, minimal design. The cons is that it has a small file output and no options for tuning. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So over here, I have a picture of Bernie Sanders. I have a picture that I'm going to use to add him to my picture. So I'm going to go over here to remove background. Okay, and this is the site. Okay, and then over here, if you go ahead and, oops, let me go ahead and move this down real quick. So if you go and you search up in Google, you just type in Bernie Sanders. I went ahead and I saved this first picture to my desktop. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to take that picture and I'm just going to drag and drop it into this site. Okay. So again, real fast and easy to use. And as you can see, it removed the background from the image. However, there's this person's here and this person's head right here. So if I go ahead and I click on edit, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the erase/restore. It gives me the brush size. So I can make my brush size as big as I want or as small as I want. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the brush size, and I'm going to remove this person to the right. And I'm going to go ahead and change the brush size again. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this piece down here. And I don't want the chair, the leg of the chair. So I'm going to go ahead and make the brush size just a little bit smaller, removing the leg chair. Oops. And then if you make a mistake, you can go ahead and click on this arrow over here and I'll undo. All right. So this is Bernie Sanders without the background. I'm going to go ahead and click on download. I'm going to go ahead and download the image. And the cool thing about the remove BG, there's also different backgrounds over here. So like if I wanted to choose this one, Bernie Sanders could be on top of the floating on the clouds, sitting on the clouds. He could be on the bridge. Okay, so they have different custom backgrounds that you could use, or you could upload one of your own. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to our slide over here, and I'm going to come to slide 5, and I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop Bernie Sanders onto the slide over here. I'm going to go ahead and rearrange him. Going to go ahead and make him just a slight bit bigger. And there you go. I had Bernie Sanders sitting right next to me. All right. Another one. So this is using a picture. I have another one over here with the iTeach808 logo. So I'm going to go back to the site, the Remove BG site. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the X. I want to go ahead and download another image. So I saved this image previously prior to our session. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag it and drop it into the Remove BG site. And what it did was it took, the background was all white. I didn't want the background to be white, so I dragged and dropped it and it took away the background. So now it's a transparent background. I'm going to go ahead and click on download. And then within my slide, I'm going to go ahead and add the iTeach808 logo right onto this image over here. So I'm just rearranging the image. Okay. And then I'm going to have the iTeach808 logo right on the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I noticed that in the chat box, it did not save the link. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this so that you guys can have access to this link. Okay. So now it's a clickable link. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to our slide. Okay. Oops, wrong one over here. So that was and if I go ahead and click on refresh, so I have it in the preview mode right now. So if I go ahead and click on refresh, Bernie Sanders appears right next to me. I have the iTeach808 logo. So quick and fast and easy to use. So I really, really enjoy using this. And then this also comes in handy for the next part that I'm going to talk about, which is how to animate Bitmoji banners. So I don't know if a lot of you use Google Classroom, but I know for myself, with the virtual teaching and with the COVID situation happening, I teach kindergarten, so my kindergarten students use Google Classroom to get access to the videos that I share or the content that I'm giving them. And so I like to, I've created just an animated Bitmoji to kind of make the classroom a little fun, exciting for the students to come in. And so once in a great while, I'll change the banner to surprise the kids. And this image over here, this was the last one I did, was a Nightmare Before Christmas. And this is in collaboration with one of my colleagues. So she included her Bitmoji as well. So within 9 simple steps, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can create one of your own. So for the first step, you're going to want to go ahead and open up a Google slide. And you want to make sure and get the add-ons. So you want the add-on called Creator Studio. And once you install the Creator Studio, you're going to go ahead and click on Allow. The third step is once you have your Google Slides, you want to go ahead and change the page setup. So I have it custom set to 10.42 by 2.6 inches. And the nice thing is you can create as many slides as you want. And then later on, I'm going to go ahead and share a link with you. And so there's a lot of different people that have been creating like Google banner templates. And so this is one of the templates that I chose to use. It's the Nightmare Before Christmas. And if you go on to Facebook or social media, I went into one of the Bitmoji banners, one of the groups on Facebook. And in that group, that Facebook group, they share a lot of different templates that free for other educators to use or other people to use. So all I did for the image was I was adding my Bitmoji to the background. Okay. The fourth step is once you created your slides and you have your Bitmoji added to them, you're going to go ahead and open up Creator Studio. You're going to click on Create a GIF. You're going to change the output width and interval. So the output is going to be 1,600. The interval is going to be 0.5. And then you're going to go ahead and choose the export format. And so I chose the animated GIF. And then once you go ahead and do that, you're going to go ahead and click on download. Okay, or sorry, go. And then in your Google Drive, it's going to create a Creator Studio folder for you. And you're going to go ahead and open up the image that you selected. And then you're going to click download. And then within your Google Classroom, you're going to open up your Google Classroom. You're going to select the upload photo. And then you're going to drag and drop the image that you downloaded right onto your Google Classroom. And then click on refresh. And so this is a short real clip of how my students got to see the Nightmare Before Christmas banner. And I'm going to walk you through the step again. Okay. All right. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and take you into a Google slide, and I'm going to go ahead and share this slide with you. Okay. Let me go ahead and click on share. Okay. Oh, sorry. Hold on real quick. All right. All right, there you go. So you have access to this slide. It's going to ask you, it's going to force you to make a copy of it. But over here, I like Harry Potter. This was another template that I found. Another educator was gracious enough to create this background. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, again, first thing you're going to want to do is once you find your template, or you can create your own background image if you want to. You're going to want to make sure that the page setup, okay, so again, I changed the page setup to 10.42 by 2.6 inches. I'm going to go ahead and click on apply. And then you can have as many slides as you want. So over here, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate the slide. Now I have a total of 5 slides. And over here in the add-ons, so before you go ahead and add your Bitmoji, making sure that you have the Creator Studio add-on. All right, and so the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is I have the Bitmoji extension over here on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few of my Bitmojis. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this image. I'm going to drag and drop this image right into my template. And just go ahead and create a simple one right here. Gonna go ahead and put on teamwork. Okay, so I'm on slide 2, adding my next one over here. Slide 3. Let me go ahead and grab this one. So it says Happy 2021. And the thing, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is to make it animated, I'm not putting the images in the same location. So I'm putting the images in different locations on the template, okay? And then for the fourth one, just quickly grabbing another one. Oops, okay, and pasting that right there. And for my last slide, let me go ahead and grab on this one with the pointer. And I'm going to have it pointing to the iTeach808 logo right over here. Okay. And so the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is once I've added my Bitmoji picture onto the slides, okay, and I kind of like it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go on to the add-ons. I'm going to click on Creator Studio. I'm going to open, create GIF. And sometimes it takes a while for it to pop up. So over here, I have the Creator Studio. I'm going to change the output again to 1,600. The interval, I'm going to put it 0.5, making sure that says animated GIF. I'm going to click on Go. And it takes a few seconds to go. And so it says render completed. And now within your Google Drive, okay, I'm going to look for the folder that says Creator Studio. Clicking on Creator Studio, gonna go ahead and open up the folder. And then over here, this is the template that I went ahead and I created. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and right click and click on download. So I'm gonna download this image. And at the very bottom of the screen, it downloaded the image. So now I'm gonna go into the Google Classroom. So I created a Google Classroom called iTeach808 just for this demonstration today. And so in the Google Classroom, you're going to go ahead and click Upload Photo. And the nice thing about Google Classroom is you can go ahead and just drag and drop your image onto the screen. And then now you're gonna go ahead and there's this bar over here. You're gonna go ahead and just rearrange the bar. And so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm pleased with how that turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and if this is how you want it, I'm just gonna go ahead and click select class theme. And now in your Google Classroom, your animated Bitmoji banner appears. So as your students are logging into their Google Classroom, if you use Google Classroom, they'll see the animated Bitmoji. Okay. All right. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and take you through is Jamboard. So Jamboard is a digital whiteboard for cloud collaboration. And there's 5 different features that Jamboard offers. Okay. So Jamboard offers a variety of easy to use editing and annotation tools. It has stock backgrounds for a variety of purposes. You can have up to 20 frames per jam. There's customizable sharing and access permissions. And then the last one is the explorability and cloud storage. So over here, and I'm gonna give you access to this Google Jamboard that I created. So over here, I created one that we all can go ahead and practice. You get to practice using some of the tools. I'm going to give you some time to go ahead and create your own remove BG image. And then you can add it to this Google Jamboard. Okay, but first of all, I just wanted to quickly take you through some of the tools. So over here, these are some of the different ways that I use Jamboard with my kiddos. So for right now, because I teach kindergarten, I'm using more of the Jamboard as a teaching tool to help the students see. So it's like kind of like my digital whiteboard. And so I'll go ahead and open up a few to show you some of the examples that I've been using. So the kids have been learning their A through Z, their alphabets. And so I'm asking the students, to provide me some information of, what images begin with the letter A. We've also worked on some of the other letters. So the students are giving me the picture. So they'll say snake. Snake starts with the letter S. And then they can see from their computer, I open up Google and then I'll type in snake, and then they get to pick which image they want to add. And then I'll show them how I'm adding it to it. So a lot of it is teacher directed using the Jamboard. Hopefully when we get into the fourth quarter, I might allow the students more access to it with the support of their families. So that is one way that I use Jamboard for the alphabets. And then another way that I use Jamboard is for the vocab and comp. And so for the vocab and comp, I'm reading the students a story. As the students are listening to the story, I'm having the students share things that they learn, who are the main characters, the setting, what happened during the story. Another one is for the informational text, sharing details of what they're learning from the story. And then I know for the older grade levels, for students in the upper grade levels, the teacher does allow the students to edit the Jamboard. So this can be very collaborative, working with the students. But because I work with the younger students, a lot of it is I'm doing more of the editing, and the students are watching me go through that process. So in the Jamboard, again, the tools that are allowed. So over here, we have the pen tool. There's the pen. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. So there's the pen, the marker, highlighter, and then the brush. And then there's 6 colors that they offer. So black, blue, green, white, yellow, and red. Over here, there's the eraser tool. So like if over here, if I went ahead and I said, oops, let me go ahead and write hi. Okay, and then I made a mistake. I'm going to go ahead and use this eraser tool to just go ahead and erase it. There's also this arrow tool. So I added an image to this. I didn't want to put it here, so I'm going to use the arrow tool to move things around. This right here is a sticky note. So for the sticky note, you can insert text directly into the Jam. So I'm going to go ahead and say hello. Okay, and then when I'm done, and you can also click different colors for your sticky note. So there's green, blue, pink, and orange. I'm going to go ahead and click on the yellow sticky note and click on save. So this is one of your sticky notes. And then with the arrow tool, you can go ahead and move the sticky notes wherever you want on the Jamboard. The next one is to add an image. So over here, clicking on the image, you can upload. You can also do it by URL, a camera, a Google image search from your Google Drive or from your Google Photos. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is real quickly, I'm going to go back into my slides. I'm going to take a screenshot of the Bernie Sanders image that I created. And then within my Jamboard over here, I'm going to go ahead and find the image on my desktop. I'm going to drag and drop it onto the Jamboard. And now the image appears. And then you can change the size, make it bigger or smaller. The next tool is the circle tool. Okay, and for the circle tool, you can go ahead and create a circle. You can also change, just a circle. If you're using a mobile or tablet app, you have 2 more assisted drawing features. You can draw the text to be converted to a typed text, or you can draw shapes, and the shapes are going to be configured to a cleaner shape figure. But because I'm using my desktop, my computer, I don't have access to those features. The next one is a text box. So for the text box, I use the text box to create this information right here. So I said, use a sticky note and leave a comment on how you felt the session went. If you created your own Bernie Sanders meme, please feel to share your image here. So again, later on, I'm going to give you some time to add your image. And the last feature is the laser tool. So with the laser tool, I can go ahead and show you like directing the students where I want them to look on the Jamboard. So if I wanted to focus here, I would use a laser tool to direct their attention. For the backgrounds, there's 6 different backgrounds. There's the dots, the rules, squares, graphs, the blue, and the chalkboard that you can choose from, or you could add your own image for your background. And then for each Jamboard, for one Jamboard that you have open, you can have up to 20 frames per Jam. Okay. Frames can be previewed, added, deleted, duplicated, dragged, dropped into whatever sequence. So for over here, if I wanted to move this slide to maybe the second slide, I could go ahead and drag and drop it, okay, or move it. Okay. And then with the Jamboard, you have customizable sharing access permissions. So if I click on the share tool, you can go ahead and change it. So right now I had anyone with the link can edit, and then you can also have it only view. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on done. And then for the export, if you want to go ahead and say, so the 3 dots over here on the side next to the word share, you can rename the file, you can download it as a PDF, you can save the frame as an image, you can make a copy of your Jamboard, and so these are the different ways that you can go ahead and save your Jamboard. All right, I'm going to go ahead and in our chat box, I'm going to go ahead and give you access to this Jamboard. So you can go ahead and share your Bernie Sanders meme. You can add a comment to it. Let me know how you thought about this session. And then as we're going through, let me go ahead. Oops, sorry. I just closed the chat box. Okay. So another last thing before I go ahead and give you some time to explore and try out the different tools. Over here, the next one is ways so you can organize your workspace. So as I'm teaching, I find myself, I have a lot of tabs open, as I'm teaching the students. And so a great way to kind of save on your power source, I use the extender called Great Suspender. The Great Suspender. And so what this does is it allows your tabs that you haven't been using for quite some time, it puts it to sleep. So if you can see over here on the right side, this is a tab that I had. So if you can see all my tabs open right here, I have my tab. I haven't used the tab for quite some time. And so it puts it to sleep. And then the easy way to go ahead and have wake it up is by just clicking on anywhere on the screen, and then it'll put it back where you had it. So like if I'm not using my email for quite some time, and then it puts it to sleep. And then if I need to send an email or check my email, I can go ahead and just click anywhere on the slide, and I'll put it right back to where I had left it. Another one is called One Tab. And so One Tab, it helps to save on memory and then also reduces tab clutter. But the one that I kind of, this is the one that I just learned recently, and I wanted to share this with you. So over here, I have on the top of my bar, I have a blue icon says iTeach808, and it's kind of highlighted underneath. If I click on this, it opens 2 other tabs that I had open, but I went ahead and I have it all kind of sorted into this tab. So how you can go ahead and do that is if I click on the top and I'm right clicking, I'm going to go ahead and add tab to a group. I can create a new group, or I could add it to the other group that I already had open, which is iTeach808. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one because I'm using this for iTeach808. I'm going to go ahead and add it to that group. And now it pulls it up to this tab. So now if I click on the tab again, it also has my slide to it. If I want to add another tab, creating another one. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and add this tab to a group. So I'm going to right click on tab to group. I'm going to create a new group. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and say Google. Okay, you can change the different color tabs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on green. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now if I click on it, the Bernie Sanders appears. I'm going to also put this one under Google, clicking on add tab to group, selecting Google. Okay. And then when I click on it, it kind of hides it. So it kind of, if you're a teacher or educator, or if you like to have a lot of tabs open, this is a great way to kind of organize your workspace. And the last thing, I just want to go ahead and say thank you everyone for joining me today in my session. You can find me on Twitter at bclarysaito or email tsaito@histi.org. But go ahead in the Jamboard, please feel free to go ahead and go around and try the different tools in Jamboard. If you want to go ahead and try the remove BG, creating your own image. And then if you feel comfortable, go ahead and if you can share it with me. And you can click on one of the frames. So you don't have to add your image to the first frame. If you want to click add your image to the second frame or the third frame, please feel free to do so. Okay. There's a question, does it also put those extra tabs to sleep like the suspender? Yes, it does. Is there any questions at this time? I know it's 2:32 right now, but if anybody has any other questions, please feel free. You can ask at this time or put it in the chat. But again, thank you so much for joining me today. And then I will go ahead and put it back to the slide. So for anybody that wants to add me on Twitter or email me. And then again, I will go ahead and share the slides for any of you that joined a little later as I was presenting. This is the link to the slides with all the information that I was sharing with you today. Thank you, Lance. Sandra, thank you. Lori, thank you. And then Laurel Oshiro, she asked a question. She said, what was the name of the Facebook group that has the Bitmoji banners? Thank you for asking that question. Let me go ahead and real quick, I'm going to go into my bookmark tab. And sorry, you're going to see all my bookmark tabs that I have. I need to go in and create folders for them. But over here, I have a Bitmoji Classroom folder. And I'm going to go ahead and share. So this is one of the links that I use to find the different templates. Oops. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this link and share this link with you. All right. So let me go back over here. All right, so in the chat box, I'm sharing with you a link. This is a person that was very grateful to share some classroom banners. And so I've used a few. I used the Christmas one in here. And then I also used the, where was it? The Harry Potter one. It's somewhere. And then for the Facebook group, let me go ahead. Just going to jump into my Facebook and then look up the group. So there's so the few groups that I've joined was called Bitmoji Craze for Educators. For those of you who might teach the younger grade levels, PK to 1 Bitmoji theme rooms. And then there's a lot of different ones. So if you just go into the search, if you have Facebook, if you go into the search bar and you just type in Bitmoji, it's going to pop up all these different groups that are available. So using your preference, which group you would like to join, but the two that I definitely join and find very useful is the Bitmoji Craze for Educators and the PK1 Bitmoji theme rooms. Oops, sorry, hold on. I just noticed that I only shared the link to Lori. So let me go ahead and share this link with everyone. My apologies. So there's the link to the person that created a different bunch of Bitmoji theme classrooms. Sorry, not Bitmoji, Google Classroom themes. All right. And again, for those of you, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the remove. So for anybody that needs the link again for the remove BG, here's the link for that. But again, thank you very much for joining me in this session. I'm going to go ahead and just give you some time and I'll stay on for anybody that has any questions or would like to share anything. And then later on, I'll go ahead and check out the Jamboard. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And thank you, Laurel, for the opportunity to present today. Appreciate it.
You're amazing, Tami. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yeah, on last minute, I can't thank you enough. I learned so much. I just attended the Jamboard session with the for middle school, high school, and I could only think of it in that aspect. But I love how you applied it to kindergarten. That's a really great application.
Yeah, and it's great because the kids are, you know, as I'm working with it, so they don't have the opportunity to edit the Jamboard, but as they're watching me, you know, go through the process, they're learning. And so what I'm walking, and so a lot of it, you know, I gotta say thank you to the parents in my classroom that I have, you know, very, very supportive in their child's learning. And so I'm teaching them how to use it. So hopefully I'm gonna be opening up a project for the students when we're talking about the weather. And then I'm going to let them collaborate with their parents and their families on editing a Jamboard. So we're in the process of working on that. So hopefully by the end of this quarter or beginning of fourth quarter, I'm going to give them a few Jamboards to edit.
Wow, that's so cool. Did you say you use Google Classroom for?
Yes.
Wow, could we see what that looks like with kindergarten? That's so
yeah,
cool.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
Let me go ahead and let me see. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead into, so for our Google Classroom, I use the school account just to protect the students. So students are only able to talk to other students within the school. So over here, these are the different Google Classrooms that I have open. So we have rotation days. And so we have a rotation teacher for creative movement. And so she has her own Google Classroom here. And so she'll share me links. And so as a teacher, I can go into her Google Classroom, I'll grab the link, and then so the students can join her in her session. And so I use the stream a lot to kind of communicate with the parents. I email them the same email message, I put it onto the stream. And then I use Seesaw. to communicate with the families as well. So they can communicate with me, directly one-on-one. But in the classwork tab over here, I have it. This is kind of how I organized it. One thing, note to myself, if there was one thing I would do to change it, as I'm adding topics, the students are having to scroll through the entire thing to get to the new content. As if I were to do this again, I would have the new content further on the top. But over here, we just changed our schedule. So what I do is I have a learning work due by Friday. And so they have a hard copy learning packet that they have at home. And so in the learning hard packet, I take a screenshot of each page and I break it down on what day we're going to be doing the pages. And then using Jamboard, I walk them through how to do their work. And then I share with them videos. So over here, I have just different videos that I share with them. And then after I teach them, I give them the answer key at the very end of the day so that they can go back and check their work. And then we have a garden teacher. So he shares us videos that we share with the kids. But prior to January, I was collaborating a lot with the other kindergarten teachers in my grade level. And so we were more focusing on having the parents help, if they had other siblings at the school, making sure that they were helping their other kids. And then and a lot of the parents were working. And so we created a Google slide and we made pre-recorded videos for the kiddos to watch. And then we would check in with the kids periodically throughout the day. So we would have interactive slides that the kids could do. These are some videos of like the big book story. We have math content. So we all collaborated as a grade level to create these slides that we were sharing with the students.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Yeah.
So you, with the kindergarten, you primarily use Google Classroom more as like a demonstration tool,
Mhm.
but the kids turn in hard copies. I'm guessing they drop off at the school.
So what I do, I have a lot of the other teachers on my grade level, they have them sharing their work in the Google Classroom. But for myself, and with the kids, they're not learning, they're in the beginning phases of reading, and so I can provide comment, but a lot of the times the parents are having to read the comment to the kids. So that's where I use Seesaw. So the Google Classroom is more like a hosting space for all the materials that I'm sharing with them. And then the Seesaw is where they can share their learning work with me, and I can provide audio comments to the kids. So they can click on the audio and then they can listen to me providing them feedback. Yeah, that's one way that I use it. And then over here, for the learning small groups, I kind of have small groups where I work with a certain amount of students. And so I created a Google Meet lookout. So within my Google Classroom, there's another link that they can click on to meet with me. So like for this group, I only have 3 students. For this group, I have other students in my class. So
Wow.
yeah, this is another way I do the small groups.
Oh, sorry, you have a question.
Yeah, sure. What is let me go ahead.
Mrs. Dogley, I'm sorry, I hope I said that. Is Seesaw linked to your Google Classroom?
So Seesaw isn't linked to my Google Classroom. How the students get access to the Seesaw, a lot of them are using the app on the phone or on the iPad, but we go through Clever. So how the students are getting to the Google Classroom, Seesaw, maybe other links like Starfall that I share or other activity links that I share with the kids, they're going and accessing it through Clever. So Clever is a site that has everything all in one place. So the Google Classroom, Seesaw, Starfall, any other links that we share. Yeah.
Amazing, Tami. Thank you. Oh, I feel like you could lead 100 workshops just to get 100 tabs. That's amazing.
Oh.
So incredible. I'm so sorry. I know we have to all leave. I had one small question, hopefully.
Sure.
How did you change your cursor? Because it's so cute and fun
Oh.
to...
Okay, so the cursor, I went to customize cursor. Let me go ahead and share this link with you in the chat. So with the customer cursor, you can change your cursors to anything, and the kids love it. So like, you know, right now it's this small black one. It's really hard for the students to see. So I change it up once in a while so that kids can like, they're like, oh, you have a new cursor today. So like, for example, if I wanted to use this one right here, I could use it. I can just go ahead and click on add, and then I'll change my cursor. Yeah. So this is just a fun link. Yes, I can share the link to my presentation again.
Thank you so much, Tami. I'll have all the presenters who wanted to share their slideshows. We'll put it all in a folder, and I'll share that out to everybody within the week. But
Okay.
Sorry, I should pass it back over to the host, co-host. Tami, you're amazing. Thank you again.
Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Mahalo to Tami, Saito, and for everyone's participation. We hope you'll find this session helpful and make some valuable connections. Thanks for being here today. Feel free to join us for other sessions coming up, and have a wonderful day.